I teamed up with 4 other Planet Zoo players for a build-off. This is how it went. So I thought I would be cheeky and do something a little bit more high quality for this video. You know, like Premiere Pro decided to be one of the worst programs to use and like absolutely ruined every single auto cut of the video that I did so I could like, you know, space out the audio. Big shout out to Adobe for being like the absolute worst product out there. But regardless, welcome everyone. My name is Leaf and it's so great that you guys are able to join me for the official second Planet Zoo build off. So I am currently in a build off with a few awesome people. Annika is the host. Go check out her video on it. Poison Blade is also with us. Go check out his video. I'm sure it's going to be as chaotic as ever. And we're also joined by my buddy Forge and my buddy Croco. Really just a wonderful little group over here as we tackle the East Asian theme, which was kind of decided. If you guys want like, you know, a lot more context to this, you guys can go check out either Annika's video or Poison Blade's video. Both are probably going to cover this a lot better than I could over here, but I really just wanted to show off my build over here. So since we were rolled the East Asian theme, I thought it'd be really classic to go with a Great Wall of China kind of build and also build for pandas because I feel like I never build for these guys before. So before we get into it, let's kind of talk about the rules of the build off because I'm sure a lot of you guys might have seen the original build off. If you haven't, I'll link it in the description down below. It was between like Nick, it was between Annika, Dill, Sib, all these wonderful Planet Zoo creators. I don't even think Dill is a creator. I think he was just there. But essentially what happened is we were rolling for a different prompt. We essentially get chosen a prompt. In this case, it was East Asia, and we only had 3 hours to build it. That's why you see the little timestamp up there. So about at this point, we're 7 minutes into the build, and I wanted to get started on like the actual architecture of this in the beginning. You might notice that in some certain places, we might restart. That is because for some reason, my game decided to crash on me. Wonderful experience right there. Really do recommend a good crash every now and again. It's really great. But yeah, essentially it came to be and I was like, oh, God damn it. This is going to be how this is going to go, huh? But it was really no issue whatsoever. We kind of recovered from it relatively easily. So for the rules, we could only build within 3 hours. We can't use like a major blueprint. Instead, we could only use minor blueprints from the workshop and stuff. So essentially what that meant was, you know, if I use like a rock set, which you'll see me use relatively soon, I can only use those things over there, which is really no big issue. But I can't make the entire habitat based off of a single blueprint. So instead, you see me come in here with the terrain stamp in order to make this beautiful mountain facade back there. Really awesome technique back there using stamps, using like, you know, the roughen tool, using the smooth tool, really fun stuff back there. No mods were allowed except for free build. I didn't even use free build in my case because I don't have it installed, but you could actually use that one. You can't use anything else like modded props or modded animals. You can only build one habitat. You can receive suggestions from others, etc., etc. And the rest of the rules pertain to like how the content should be posted on YouTube. I really hope that I do this right, but really, I'm not too concerned because I feel like I am. So essentially, you can see me coming all throughout here. I originally used the faux rocks for these little crevices that I was too lazy to make out of stone pieces myself. Instead, you could see it is kind of like a kind of rockfall, something like that. I don't really know, kind of like a whole bunch of boulders stacked on top of each other. I really like that, especially with the random rotation tool. It turned out really good. But you could see my main objective over here is to make this really awesome viewing gallery, which I think turned out really good. But you could see me still fiddling around with the rocks at first. That's just to get a good base for this habitat to begin with. And then once that is all decided, I kind of start to decorate like the exterior a little bit more. I think I do a little bit more taller walls back here just to give these like, I'm not really sure what you call these on like, I guess you call them the parapets or something on the Great Wall of China. I'm not really sure, but I wanted to give them just a little bit more height just to differentiate it a little bit more from the rest of the facade. And I think it turned out really good. The Indonesian brick set is really good for something like this. So you can see me start to use a whole bunch of that stuff all throughout here, just really make it look nice and pretty. And yeah, I just really like it. At the end, I kind of put the roofs on these. They look a little bit unfinished for now, but once I actually do add the roof on them, they just come together so well. So you'll see that in just a little bit. I turned that big one right over there into kind of like a food stall area. I thought that was kind of like a little good, cute use of like space. And I apologize for the audio in here. I still got to get some more soundproofing up, but besides that, that is really it. So I guess I should also mention that you guys can vote on your favorite build down below. Annika made a little poll, I guess, that you guys can use. So you could vote for the best build of the Planet Zoo build off. They're all linked down below. Really some awesome stuff in here. I know Forge did something kind of like a more realistic zoo inspired one with like an overpass for the pandas or something like that. I thought that was kind of cool. And I know Poison Blade did this like really awesome pagoda. Croco did a little bit more of like a Japan urban kind of centric diorama something thing. Really awesome stuff. And you can see me, I just really wanted to go hyper themed with this because I really haven't done anything too extravagant as of late. In fact, I really haven't been doing anything as of late. The last what was it? Really building that I've been doing has been finishing Castaway Keys, which was really nothing. And I really haven't even built for San Cabrillo Zoo. So really, this is the most amount of building in Planet Zoo that I've been doing in about like 2 months, which I think is absolutely insane to see. But I don't know, I still had a lot of fun with it. And it was really fun to do more of like a fantastical build anyways. So I don't know, it was just a lot more fun to do it like that. You could see me adding all these fences all throughout this build over here too, just to make sure that our guests don't fall into the exhibit and our pandas were escaping because I didn't actually have like my sandbox tools on, which is, you know, it's whatever. I added a little bit of a pool in there. You'll see us do some little decorations on the inside in there in a bit. And I also added some guest amenities as well throughout here, just to keep it a little bit more consistent, make it feel like, you know, it's a little bit more of a zoo than anything else, but still have it be a little bit more fantastical. I really do love how these fences turned out. They really look so good once they're like all together throughout here. I don't know, it just looked really fun. And I even continued it down on like the ground below. I really know that, you know, it probably wouldn't continue down there in real life, but I figured, you know what, we're already doing something a little bit more extravagant. We might as well pull out the budget for this. I also added a few fences back over here and I kind of capped off the path over there so that really the illusion that it continues off into a bamboo forest exists. I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. I also add these little stone dragons over here. Thought that these were a really good touch in here. It just gives it a little bit more flavor. And I thought it looked really good once we start stacking them all throughout the build themselves. You can see they lead right up to the entrance of the wall of like the building of the viewing area up there. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I got started with foliage. So I'm going in with the tried and true classic buffalo grass. And at this point, we're about 1/3, not really 1/3, 1/6, I would say, of the way done with this build, or at least with the timer itself. You can see it's about 30 minutes on the clock right there. But I'm adding a whole bunch of different like plants in here, really just trying to emphasize kind of like a temperate forest, temperate bamboo forest to taiga kind of habitat where the pandas live. So I thought it'd be a really fun technique over there just to be able to incorporate all these really awesome plants. And what I did over here was throw down a bunch of coolers on the top of this mountain bridge just to give it a little bit more of a sense of scale. Even in real life, when you're working in like a zoo or something, you do always want to bring in that sense of scale, and having like snow caps on top of mountains really makes it feel like it's a lot more taller than it actually is. So that's a little bit of the effect that I wanted to bring in right there. And I also added like just a few other decorations all throughout here. I feel like the aquatic plants around like these little ponds and stuff was a really good touch. These fig trees are incredible for like just general cover. And I also use the rose bushes just because I really do love those flowers on top of there. They really do pop once they're all in a habitat all together. So it just looks so good. Adding all the bamboo, of course. I always say that bamboo makes a very cheap and efficient resource in zoos and zoo design because it's very quick growing. It grows very tall. And it's just a tropical plant, which really can grow pretty much anywhere. which is very cool to see. Really brings in this really cool effect. And I want to do a little bit more storytelling through enrichment over here. So I add a few different areas for enrichment for the pandas, whether it be like kind of a little bit more at the front, where people can see. I was joking around about building the Eiffel Tower over there, so I made like the Statue of Liberty right there. I don't know. But yeah, just adding a whole bunch of other things in here. Here's where I actually work on the roofs. So I'm just using the basic East Asia set. I really didn't want to go too custom with these. I know Poison Blade did, and he is a absolute menace for that. But I just want to do something a little bit more simple, so I kind of use the base game pieces because, hey, but like, they just work. They just work super well. So I do that stuff right there. I make like the little caps as well. And it looks really good all together. I don't know. It was a little bit awkward with the corner ones because they just weren't like designed to have a square cap on them, but listen, it's fine. It worked out. Adding a whole bunch of different flowers in here too from the conservation pack. I feel like I never use these flowers too much anymore. I feel like I only use the Yorkshire foggrass. I really should use the flowers more because they really help an exhibit stand out. Also adding those beautiful little bubble enrichment, or at least like the bubble domes. I don't know. I felt like that'd be a really awesome way to include just a little bit more interest for the habitat. And I put them in some relatively like unknown places. So I thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, really the bulk of the habitat is done at this point. It really just comes down to like smaller details. So I just want to add like a few different bushes in here and help keep the area feeling a little bit more alive, helping it feel a little bit more populated. And I realized I really didn't do any decorations on those mountain caps, so I just add a little bit more stuff up there. But besides that, it's just bushes, shrubbery everywhere, and just adding like these small little details. So I was like, what else can I add? Can I add like some ducks? Could I add some other things of interest in here? So I was looking for like, you know, various animals I could add in here that are like small piece animals. So I was like, the Chinese golden pheasant, that's a really great one. I'll even use some of Drax's little kois right there. But really, besides that, the habitat was pretty much done. So I'll tell you what, we'll probably just end it right here and we could check out the cinematics. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to drop a little visit to the poll down below so you guys can visit on your, or vote rather, on your favorite builds all throughout here. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to check out the other builds videos as well. And I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.